Hey everybody, Boom Boys here. Man, it is a beautiful day in Western Oklahoma, mid-January. The last 3 times out, we have been nearly skunked on one of the lakes, kind of by our house out here, Foss Lake in Western Oklahoma. And so now we moved to Canton Lake over here in Western Oklahoma. It's gonna be a beautiful day, guys. Check out how calm this water is. Like glass out here. So the awesome thing about Canton Lake is it's got both white bass, hybrid bass, and striper in this lake. I don't know of really many other lakes, especially in Oklahoma, that have all those 3. Usually it's got sandbass and hybrid, or sandbass and striper, but not really all 3 of those. So it really raised your chances of catching fish, right? Because sometimes if the hybrid are biting, the white bass are biting, and sometimes vice versa. So the last times we've been on this lake, we absolutely hammered the fish. Check out those videos. We did a lot. We did really good on this lake. Now the water's down a whole lot on this lake. The reason is because this lake feeds Oklahoma City's water. So we've been in a drought, and whenever Oklahoma City needs water, they'll pull it from Canton Lake out here in Western Oklahoma and really drain this lake way down. So I don't think there's gonna be a spot out here that's deeper than 20 feet. So it shouldn't be, I don't think, that hard to find these fish today. Hey, it's looking good, guys. So right here, just right from the docks here where we loaded, waiting on my dad, I've already seen him pull in, look like 3 crappies. So looks like at least some of the fish are biting today. So a lot of times on my videos, we talk a lot about what to look for on the screen for fish. And so some days can be different than others, and lakes can be different. But this is what we're seeing on the screen today. So kind of like we talk about, that's exactly the kind of hump you're looking for on side scan. There's some fish right there, there's some fish. It's kind of hard to see, I know with the glare, there's some fish here. So that tells me there's a lot of fish in the area. Now, I don't know what those are, if those are walleye or hybrid or even striper, but that tells me there's fish in the area. One thing I would say is don't really look for bait fish. A lot of times when we catch fish, there's not a lot of bait fish in the area. Usually they're chasing them out of the area, so don't look for necessarily bait fish, look for fish. Got him? Got him, man. We got our first one. Been here for about 2.5 hours. Struggling. And we got our first fish right here.
I don't want to lose our first
little
fish.
Sandy. Little guy, look at that. Oh, look at that pathetic looking fish. So beautiful. Feels so good. We've been blanked out last few times we've been out, so just a fish feels good. Let's see if we can get a few more. Another one? Oh, got another one, dude. White. I gotta change to white. He's got a white head with a white body. Your color of head is really important. Obviously your baits. We've been switching heads, switching baits all day, just in case, because sometimes just that little bit, it's a matter of you catching fish or not. So it's really important to have a load of jig heads on you at all times. So we've got completely different heads on. This is a head that you can get at Bass Pro. It's got a red eye. And so sometimes that makes a difference. Just having that little red eye right there makes a difference. But if you're going for sand bass, a lot of times our baits are just the hooks are a little big for sand bass. So a lot of times, you know, you may get hits, but you just won't get hooked up because those hooks are just so big, especially if the sand bass are small. Littler jig head here. This is about a 1/2 ounce jig head. So this is a really good size for sand bass. These are sand bass. We're all over some small sandies.
Oh,
no. Missed him? Here, let's get you another jig head.
Too big.
Let's get you another jig head. We're gonna put a little smaller one on my dad's right here, see how this works. Another bite. There we go. I can't catch a fish, guys. I can't catch a fish. Little sandy, but you know what? It's a fish.
Fish on that little hair.
Yeah. Start losing your mojo after a while, you know? It's like, can we catch a fish? Look at all those fish to the right. See all those fish over there? Oh, there we go. Yes, sir. Same one. Small head, guys. Ooh. Small hybrid, baby. Yes, sir. Got a hybrid. Little guy, but man, we are on him. All right. Guys, feel so good after so long not being on fish. So you know how it is, guys. You lose confidence in the lakes you're at, but man, sometimes it's just the right bait, the right color, the right time of day. Like right now, I have a feeling this is when they're starting to turn on and feed. You know, just towards the end of dark right here. So I'm gonna switch to another smaller head, put the same bait on here, and we're gonna see if we can't load these boat up. We've been promising some friends some fish for a while, and we haven't been able to make good on our promise. So I'm seeing some good fish on graph. Let me show you the side scan here. Let's look at those fish over there if you can see them. There's some good signs on bottom. I'll try a sassy shad now, see how that does. Getting some a little smaller. Oh boy. Make this one glow just a little bit. A little bit of chartreuse tail. There we go. Little tap, guys. Oh, I missed it. If you're not holding the pole on these fish, you're not catching them. Every fish so far has been on that white fluke with the chartreuse tail.
Got one?
Yeah, fluke. They're underneath us. Now they're stacking. So we stopped moving, guys, and we spot locked, and now they're stacking underneath us. Sandy. See how they're stacking underneath us just like that? We got the thumper going in about 21 feet of water here. There we go, same thing. Same fluke, guys. They're not hitting any other plastics except these flukes with the chartreuse tail. Crazy. They are not touching these other baits. Isn't that crazy? You're not even touching them. So this is what we've been catching them on, guys. So what I'm gonna do is cut it a little bit short, get it in their mouth. You don't even want to know what I just did.
What you did?
I had an extra hook here. I put my bait on it. I threw it in the water, but it was my extra jig head I just had laying here with no string on it. There we go. He barely hit it. I'm telling you, if I had not hold the pole, I would not have caught it. Just the slightest of bite. So this is what my bait looks like. Nothing special, just a little bitty half-ounce jig head. A lot what you use for bass fishing. Yo, this pole's the one doing it, man. Huh? One pole. Are you two up? Got two up. That time I held perfectly still because we're moving at we're moving at 2/10 miles an hour. Oh man, these small fish, you jerk up so high, then you lose slack. There he is. There he looks. Man, the way this pole's catching, dude, I don't need another pole.
Dude,
I mean,
what is it, a one pole night?
I guess.
Right now they're all on your side of the boat.
I know, right? Oh, got one on the other pole, man. Got one on the other pole. The other pole can't catch a fish. The other pole can't catch a fish. I was thinking it might have been a line or something. Oh yeah, here's a little, feels like a little hybrid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little more tug, huh?
A little bit more tug than that Sandy's.
Huh?
Well, that thumper is keeping them underneath us in this little area here. There it is. Just spot lock, guys, and boom, got one. We're just playing around, you know, moving at 2/10.
Here's one here.
3/10, but I think today they just may just want your bait, just not even moving, just completely still. Easy. There we go. I just popped it that time. I just popped and let it fall. They hit it. They've been small today. This is the smallest we've caught all year. If we can get our hands on some live bait, dude, this is over right here, dude. This is like, you go to right here and catch 200 fish in a hurry. And I'm wondering if you got him. That a boy. Nice work. Skinny, man, really skinny. A lot different than this fall.
You'll still eat.
Yep. We'll eat. I'll take this kind of action any day, especially after the last 3 trips. So we were just driving along and we saw these on sidescan. Actually, man, I put that boat, stopped it, took a hard right, and as soon as we did that, we were on these fish. We hadn't seen fish like this all day stacked up. But man, we're no more than 200 yards from the shore here. We probably moved at least 10, 12 times probably. There we go. I say that, I was trying to hold it dead still. I was trying not to even hardly breathe. Ooh, got a little.
Move it when he hit it?
Huh? No, I was dead still. I was like holding my breath. Ooh, that's a nice one of the day. Hell no. He's a hybrid. I didn't have my bell set. Starting getting a mess up. So check these out. This fish, what the screen looks like.
We'll have some fresh fish.
Man, look at that on side screen, just super thick. Here on bottom, just thick. Now I guarantee you, if we had live shad, we would have just stacked them, just boom, 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 boom. Just right now, it's just one of those things. Sometimes dead sticking or the bait, it's just not as good as live bait. I think right now, they're just not really aggressive. The fish are really skinny, and I just think it's just one of those things. The time of year, maybe the water temperature, that the fish just aren't hitting like they normally do, dead sticking aggressively. Atta baby. We're redeeming ourselves, homie. We're redeeming ourselves. Right. Oh, there we go. Our first double. Yes, sir. Same pole every time. Same pole every time.
Get another one?
Same pole. Craziest thing, man. Same pole. I got the trolling motor. I got it angled like this, making us go in a circle. And we're going at 1/10 mile an hour. Sun is already set behind us. It just didn't seem like the splasher was really doing much for us, you know, when we had it on. Kind of seemed like the fish were scattering. I don't know why. Maybe it's the depth, and I don't know. There we go. He didn't really hit it going down. He hit it, lifted just a little bit.
There he is.
Hey, boy. Hybrid. We're gonna call it a day, guys. Man, I tell you what, this day started out really slow. We went all over this lake, and literally we're only, man, 500-600 yards from where we loaded the boat. We were just going along, saw them on side scan, then boom. Today's a day that really, it makes you feel really good if you're prepared, right? Because we had a lot of jig heads, a lot of different baits. They were only hitting that one fluke, the white fluke with the chartreuse tail. And then it was nice that we had a lot of options of jig heads because most of these fish were very small. Now my dad was still using those 1.5 ounce jig heads that we normally use, those little triangle jig heads, a little bit larger, but he probably missed a lot of fish just because of the size of it. But what a good feeling to be prepared. You know, I don't think you can ever be too prepared to go fishing because you never know what's gonna happen. Today's a prime example for that. I have no idea why. Literally, my right pole that I was using that you guys just saw, I mean, it was catching most of the fish. I don't know if it was both of them were using braid. Now my dad was using monofilament. Now we typically use braid in the boat primarily because we usually fish for 3, 4, 5 people in the boat, and we don't want all that stretch to tangle up everybody in the boat. So that's the main reason why we use braid, so we can set the hook and horse them in. But just like I told you guys when we started, this lake is an amazing lake because, man, it's got sandbass, hybrid, and striper. And today, the sandbass were going. If we had to rely just on the hybrid, we wouldn't have caught near as many fish. Check out that, guys. Man, what a decent day that we put together here. So what I like to start doing, guys, when you guys send me pictures, I want to put it at the end of our video sometimes. And I'm going to start that today. So here's a quick picture of Christina and Charles H. Man, what a good looking group of fish right there. And look at that boy, man. Raising them right. Thanks a lot, Charles, for that picture. So check out my email in the description below. I'd love to see your fishing pictures because, man, we're building a community here with guys that like to fish just like us and take our kids fishing and go out with their old man, kind of like him. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you on the next one.